everybody, and welcome back to the Girly Girl Bookworm. So today I have my last 5 reads for you, and that would include all of the books that I read for Buzzwordathon. I ended up getting through 4.5 books during the Buzzwordathon, so if you haven't watched my vlog, these are the books that are in that vlog, and then if you watch my vlog, these are the books that were in that vlog. So pick your choice if you want to stick around and watch this for some further details on the books that I read for the Buzzwordathon. The first book that I read was a nonfiction book, so kind of worked for Nonfiction November. Whoa, sorry, I just hit the charger. Is Three Women by Lisa Taddeo. My husband is trying to tell me that's Lisa Taddeo. I don't know. It could be either. This is nonfiction, and I don't read too much nonfiction, but this one really intrigued me. It's about 3 women that are kind of followed throughout their lives, and they're kind of like, I think it's about 10 years of their life, and their sex lives. There's one woman who is married to a man who kind of is not in love with her, like he's not attracted to her, so like she really wants just to like make out with him, and he's like, no, your kiss disgusts me. So they go to see a therapist, and the therapist is like, he has every right to feel that way. And so she ends up starting this love affair with a man that she was with in high school. And then there's this girl who is in high school, and she starts a romance with her teacher, and he ends up breaking it off with her, and she does not deal with that very well to begin with. And then it's years later, and she finds out that he is been nominated for Teacher of the Year for their state that they live in. And so she's like, this isn't fair. He had a relationship with me. He's not a good teacher. And so she comes out that they had a relationship. So there's a whole trial, and nobody really believes her. And then there is a third woman who seems to kind of have it all. She's kind of got a good family background and a nice husband. They own a restaurant, but they are inviting people into their bedroom. Her husband picks out different men and women for her to sleep with, and he either like watches or like they communicate over text message like while while she's having sex with somebody else. And one day he brings somebody into the bedroom that kind of disrupts what their routine is. It makes her really think about what she's doing with her life and if it's okay and if it's not okay. I went into this book with really, really high expectations. I was really intrigued by all of those stories. I was like, this is going to be fantastic. And everybody kind of said that they weren't a fan of the writing style, that the writing style was more of a narrative and it didn't feel like a nonfiction. And I was like, this is perfect. That's exactly what I want. Unfortunately, while I was reading this, I had a really hard time with it. It does have a narrative-like writing style, but it's hard to even call it that. It's hard to describe how the writing style was. It felt very different. It's one of those things that I feel like you have to read it in order to understand what I'm talking about. And then when they were talking, there was dialogue. There were no quotation marks, so then you had a hard time following who was talking and if there was talking going on. It also felt very filled with information, like overly detailed. Like there was specific sex scenes completely detailed out, and I kind of felt like, I don't know, if you're in the moment having sex like these women are you really paying attention to, he put his hand here and I put my hand here and then this happened and then that happened? Like like that wouldn't happen, like unless you were recording it to like look back after. Like I feel like you wouldn't know every like little nitty gritty detail and every little thing that was said and done. And I don't know, I did not vibe with it. The ending was very abrupt. I gave it 3 stars. I almost feel like I should have given it 2 stars. This may be getting on-hauled because I don't ever foresee myself rereading it. I'm really upset though, because while I was reading it, Minnie decided to run around and she completely ripped it on me. So I can't even like book for trade it because I feel bad. But yeah, bummer. I was really let down by that book. After that, I knew that I needed something to pick me back up and bring me back to where I needed to be, and I picked up The One You Can't Forget by Ronnie Lauren, and this is book 2 in the Ones That Got Away series. I loved this book. I gave this book 5 stars. It was so much fun. I was really invested. There was so much going on that I loved about this book. This follows a series of people who survived their high school. There's a shooting at prom, and each book follows a different girl in this like friendship groupage. And this one is following a girl who, when she was at prom, she was shot at. She actually was shot in the leg. Her date at the time kind of fell on her to protect her, to save her. So now obviously it's years later. She is a lawyer. She's a divorce lawyer. And one day she kind of comes into, she's mugged pretty much. Like somebody comes and tries to rob her from gunpoint. And this guy comes out of nowhere and tries to save her. And they end up obviously forming a friendship relationship, but it's hard. It's kind of a hate to love relationship because she actually really ruined him and took him down when his wife was divorcing him. And so it's kind of this like love-hate relationship to start. There's so much, like I said, that gets brought up in this book. If you really want a lot of more of my details, I put a review on my Instagram. So check out my Instagram. I think I also put it on my Goodreads, so if you follow me there. But it just felt like it had so much going on. There was cooking, which I love. There was children who are being taught to cook that kind of aren't dealt the greatest hand in life. And he's trying to get them to be able to overcome life and have something that they're like really good at. And it's so much fun, and I really enjoyed it. And like I said, it's 400 pages, but you can fly through this book. It's so gripping. You're not going to want to put it down, and I cannot wait to get book 3 in my hands. So definitely check this one out if you like romance. And yeah. The next book I read on my ebook, but as an ebook, but I got it because I already owned it. And that is The Seven Dials Mystery by Agatha Christie. I owned it, and I borrowed it from Hoopla because I was like not able to sleep last week like at all. So I was like, I might as well do something when I can't sleep. So I picked up this book, and this book is the second book in a series where I think I read book 2 and 3, but I haven't read book 1. Book 1 is Murder is Easy. They can be read as standalones. This one follows these characters. They are staying at this mansion, and they keep making fun of their friend because he sleeps in all the time, and he is never awake when everybody wants him to be awake. And so they decide to pull a prank on him and buy 8 clocks and set them off at like starting at 6:30, like one after the other, to wake him up and just like as a joke. And so the morning they do that, all of a sudden he's still not down, and they're like, that's so strange. Like, with all those alarm clocks, like he must be just trying to get back at us. Let's go check on him. And he's dead. And all of their 8 clocks that were spread out around the room, they are neatly in a row on the mantle, and one of them is thrown out the window. And so they're trying to figure out what happened to this guy. Was it an accident? Did somebody murder him? What happened? It was okay. I gave it 2 stars. It's probably my least favorite by her that I've read. It just was very confusing. There was too many characters to keep straight. And not, like, the twist at the end, like, Agatha Christie always has a good, like, oh my gosh, how did I not see that coming? But didn't make up for the fact that it was dull and dry and boring throughout the whole book. So, unfortunately, my least favorite Agatha Christie book that I've ever read. Let's keep the trend of reading books I don't like. And I read One With You by Sylvia Day. This is the 5th book in the Crossfire novel series. This book I had on my shelf for a while. This book series was supposed to be a trilogy originally, and then it got extended to book 4 and 5, and it should have stayed just a trilogy, in my opinion. This book makes me want to get rid of all the rest of the series on my shelf because this one was so bad. I also gave this one, I think, like 2 stars. This book just was more of the same of the first few books. Like, this is about a girl named Eva, and she moves to New York because her mom is there with her best friend, and then she ends up starting a new job at this company, and when she's going into this company, she meets this guy who is like the big top CEO, so almost like a Christian Grey kind of guy, and obviously they both have troubled pasts, and they have to overcome their troubled pasts, and everybody wants to break them up, and just sex all the time, and it just was like, there's no plot here. This book was not needed. She tried to insert a plot point about the main character, Eva's mom, that just was not necessary. All of the books, I don't know if you can see them. They're all right here. They're like 300 pages. This one was almost 500 pages. Not necessary. I wish I didn't read it. I got nothing out of it. I'm mad. I don't want it. So there's that. And then the last book that I read this week was 3 Blind Dates by Megan Quinn. I got this recommendation from Shelby over at Shelby Taggart Reads, and this one was so much fun. I did have a lot of fun with this one. I gave this one 4 stars. I read it on Kindle Unlimited, and this is the first book in a trilogy, and I cannot wait to continue with this trilogy as well. This follows a girl. She's 27 years old. She just is living her life. She is living in Malibu. She is a talk show host of a morning show with one of her best friends, and she loves hockey, and she loves You've Got Mail, and she's just one of those, she's just got it all. Now she just wants somebody to share her life with. So she discovers this app, and through this app, you kind of set up a profile, but you have a screen name and a picture, like a thumbnail, except it's not, it's an avatar. So it's not your face, but it's like a Christmas tree, because her name is Noelle. So she has got a Christmas tree, and her username is shopgirl. I think is there a number? I think it's just the shop girl, which is the handle that Meg Ryan uses in You've Got Mail. And the cool thing about this app is not only does it match you with somebody and you get to agree if you want to go on a date or not, you go to this restaurant, and the thing that this restaurant does is the blind date spot. So if you're there for a blind date. So it's like a safe place to go to have a first date, which I love, because when I met Patrick, we met online, and it's scary going to a Starbucks or which is where we met, or someplace where is this guy gonna murder me, or is he so if you know that you've got a safe place to go, that's kind of cool. And then if you like the first date, they give you 3 suggestions of places based off of your match, or where you think that where they think that a good second date would be. So it was a lot of fun. She ends up obviously going on 3 blind dates. I thought I made a prediction on page 30. I went, Patrick, mark my words, this is who she's going to end up with, and I was wrong. He's not in any of the books, doesn't match. So I thought that was kind of funny. But then by the end of it, I knew who she was going to end up picking, because it just made sense. But it was a lot of fun. It started to drag just a smidge by the end. It is almost a 400-page book. So it did start to drag a little bit, but it was a lot of fun. It was really cute. You got to see the little emails back and forth between it, all of the people she was going on these dates with. They were a lot of fun. There was hockey. Again, You've Got Mail references, so if you love You've Got Mail, you're gonna love this book. But yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to continue on with this series. And I believe the rest of them are on Kindle Unlimited, so I'm excited. But yeah, those are the 5 books I read. So clearly I had 2 really good ones and 3 that were wah, wah, wah. But it is what it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys really, really soon. Bye, everybody.